Now, here's another thing I want to talk about. There's actually a thing here, as you can see, observation check failed. This is actually pointed. I did get this for the achievement bit. He looks up at the sky, and there's like a there's an image in the sky where that shows like there's constellations are forming in an ancient world. So if you have 1 point in observation and 2 points in ancient language, you'll be able to read what's written in the clouds or whatever, in the stars, and it forms the word that dragon are the source of power. So I'm guessing at some point we're gonna have to find a way to like get some power out of a dragon like Tyrath or whatever that we fought later in the chapters. Here's another choice that doesn't really matter. It's just like I was busy. It's just asking like, what do you feel about killing people because it's your first time killing. So I was just busy. I was just busy thinking of how to stay alive at the time. So he's like, okay, it's your first fight. I forgot about that. You should be proud or whatever. And when I heard about this tournament, my first thought was that finally, after a lifetime of good deeds, after a lifetime of trying to make a difference, someone was sending me a signal. I've tried all my life to save the world from its miseries. No matter how hard I tried, my efforts have never been enough. But with the help of Magium, maybe, just maybe, I might have a chance. Darren looks at me and notices I am a little worried. I read out of the corner of my eye. Darren looks at me and notices I'm a little woman. I was like, what the fuck, did I transform into a woman? But okay. So here another choice where he asked like how is it going on with Kate and whatnot. So you just simply answer like whatever you want to answer. I'm just like, she still hasn't given in to my charms. Darren laughs. No worry, take your time. We have all the time in the world. Slowly Darren's smile fades from his face and adopts a more serious tone. Listen, he says. Oh yeah, whatever. So we'll read about it. We already read about it, the Banshee talk and whatnot. Yeah, I was just looking at the guide and I might have to make some changes actually. I'm going to follow what the guide says so far, but I am going to save this playthrough as a secondary playthrough, and I'm going to save my main playthrough as a primary playthrough. I'm going to play through my main playthrough. I'm not going to continue, like unlike Wizard's Choice, there are no like perfectly correct answers, because it says, like I just looked down and it says like later when you fight Cutthroat Dave, you're actually supposed to let him live. And he will die in book 2 chapter 11. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, in my story Aiden just kills him, so I'm like, that's just fine. But apparently this is the ideal playthrough, so I don't know what's that all about, but we'll see eventually how that helps. But I don't want him to live, so I'm just going to continue with my main playthrough separately. So here we are for point investment again. We should have 6 points. It's really, by the way, I would recommend, as I said, I do recommend go check out the achievements yourself, because one of the achievements was like I put 3 points in strength, 3 points in toughness, 3 points in combat technique, and literally picked up a tree and then like bashed people's skulls in. It was so cool when Kate gets attacked later. So that's really cool. So we want to put 2 points in hearing. So where's hearing? 1, 2. And we want to put 3 points in observation. 1, 2, 3. And we want to put 1 point in ancient language. Another point in ancient language. Okay, fine. So hearing is 2 points. Observation is 3 points. And 1 point in ancient language. So ancient language would be level 3 then. Yep, that should be correct. The guide should never have written this way, but that's fine. We have gotten all our points in. So at this point we are getting to another choice. We are supposed to ask how she knows how the stat device works. So how did you come to know the true function of the stat device? I asked Kate. She gives me a pondering look, probably trying to decide how much of the truth she is willing to disclose to me. The stat boosters were created on this continent. I was born here as well. It is more common for people on this continent to know what these devices do than it is for the people in the rest of the world. Wait, you were born here? Didn't you come here to participate as a tournament? I was born here but didn't spend my whole life here. It is not so easy to return here once you have left. I've used this tournament as a means to come back because I have some unfinished business to attend to. And I'm guessing this unfinished business of yours is somehow related to this thing you want me to look at. She doesn't make a comment, but her silence is enough to confirm my hypothesis. Kate decides to completely change the subject and says, she stops in front of me and looks me straight in the eye. Something has been bugging me ever since we met yesterday, she says. When you and Darren first saw me, this is the same thing where she's like purifying and whatnot, and we tell her like, we didn't know, actually Darren did want to purify you and we wanted to save you and all that bullshit. So by the way, I found out that Kate can actually die, not Kate, sorry, what was that chick's name? The Time Weaver chick, dude, the fucking 11th chapter chick, right? Whatever her name was, I don't remember. The Time Weaver chick, actually, Rose. In the last chapter, remember, like when I was playing it yesterday or day before yesterday, it was like one of the chapters. There was like a scene where like we had like the stats, so we ran and saved her from that last skeleton. But if we didn't do that, she would actually die. I didn't even know that was possible, but she actually is an NPC, so she can actually die. Well, I'm sure a lot of characters in the show can die. That's really interesting to me, though. So in this option that we have here, we're gonna ask Kate why not. We are talking about why he should not be worried when Kate is leading us away into the forest, and while our boy, what is his name again? Darren is resting in the cave. So we are leaving her. So it's like, you shouldn't worry about him. So I'm gonna ask why not. See for yourself. Go on. Try and head back to our cave. Hesitantly, I start retracing my steps back towards the cave. So I start walking. However, I get a powerful urge to go the other way. I try again. I get the same result. But how many times I try, I simply can't keep going in the same direction. Yeah, this is the same thing. This is like the suggestion magic or whatever. I see apparently not even someone as learned as you would probably be familiar with this spell. It's understandable. They don't really use suggestion magic outside the continent of Varathia after all. The spell I used is part of subset of magic called the suggestion. With what these spells do is that they insert an idea inside your head and they make you think you were the one that came up with it. You may have noticed that something was wrong because you were especially aiming to go in that direction, but most mages wandering around the area won't even notice the spell's effect. That's pretty cool, actually. How do you get around it? In order to contract the spell, all you need to do is focus on the cave and visualize it clearly inside your head. When you head towards it, as long as you have a set destination inside your head and not simply a general direction, the spell won't work on you. My knowledge of the spell was one of the only reason I was able to survive against banshee hunters for so long. It covers a pretty large area, but unfortunately I can only cast it about 2 times a day. It doesn't last for more than a few hours. And now let's go. Our destination lies not much further. So you just have to like have a clear mind and thinking about like Darren, or like cave. Darren is sleeping in cave, and visualize that you should be able to pass through here. So this is the same thing, and she's gonna get mad at us, and oh right, she's gonna thank us for like not getting her purified and whatever bullshit she was talking about. We've already read this, so you can go back and read it, rewatch it if you want to. Premonition check failed. Hearing check successful level 2, observation check successful level 3. As I speak, I suddenly hear a voice far behind me. What are you waiting for? Shoot her. I turn back immediately, trying to identify the source of the sound. As I look towards the forest, I spot 2 shadowy figures hiding behind one of the trees. One of them seems to be holding a crossbow and is aiming right at Kate. What happened? Asked Kate. What are you looking at? The man behind the tree shoots his crossbow, but I was waiting for it. Look out, as I say as I push Kate out of the dark's way. You blundering buffoon, I can hear a man shout from behind the trees. His voice is high-pitched and could be easily mistaken for that of a woman if you weren't paying attention. So this is, by the way, a sequence. This is the sequence which is very interesting. If you fail the sequence of like getting the stats to like save her from the dart, she actually gets like weakened, and because of which she can only make a shield. She cannot no longer attack, and then a whole squad of like crossbowmen attack us, and in that situation you can run back and get Darren. And in which case Kate will get badly injured, but she will kill everyone here. Or you can go attack yourself if you have put the right points into right things. You can look about achievement guide. There's a fandom wiki on it. You can find it on there. That's where I got my achievements from, and I got 25 of them. So yeah, so plan B. How did you manage to miss that shot? Plan B, go for plan B now. Suddenly all the trees around us get covered in clouds of smoke. Between the lack of light, the distance, the smoke screen is now almost impossible to tell where our enemies are hiding, except for the vague sense of their magic auras. Surrender, Banshee, says the man with a high-pitched voice. We have you surrounded. There's no way you can tell where we are through this thick smoke. If you surrender, I'll grant you and your human companion the gift of a quick, painless death. Yet another enemy who doesn't believe I'm a Stillwater. I'm starting to doubt that this bluff was a good joke. Is this a joke? Says Kate. I can sense that there are at least 100 of you hiding behind the trees all around us, and yet none of you are mages. Do you seriously think you can win against mages by outnumbering them? Mages are no gods. They bleed just like the rest of us. And he actually is correct, because in the other plan where we don't pay attention to this hearing and observation points, he does actually manage to hit her with the dart. They do not manage to kill her, but she gets badly injured. So if there are more of them, they could have defeated her. Anyway, mages are no gods, whatever, as he finishes. And then I believe, Barry, can you see through the smoke? I take a look with my semi-transparent ice dome and try to see. Yeah, she makes an ice dome to protect us and whatnot. We can see through the smoke. We can see through the smoke because we actually got the observation in 3. So yeah, we can actually see them. I think I went with this before. Yeah, tell her to, I'd rather fight the enemies with a dagger on. That ability can only be used if you go with what's it called? If you put 3 points in all 3 of those stats that I've been mentioning again and again: strength, toughness, and combat technique. So we're gonna go with Kate's plan. So go with her plan. Agree to go with her plan. She dismisses her dome. There's one over there, right beneath her. I think I've already done this. I think this is what I actually chose in this situation. So I'm gonna go with this. Cone flying and this, that, and then she's gonna kill everyone. Yeah, we already seen this.